Nymphus Coridon Cory Hanks was born November 3, 1882, in Charleston, Utah, to William Albert Capener and Eunice Louisa Murdoch Hanks. He had 6 brothers and 3 sisters. He spent his boyhood years in Charleston, attending 7 school years there. He left home at 16 to pursue his education. I grew up listening to Cory stories from my grandfather, Joseph E. J. Hanks, Cory's little brother and early caretaker. The lessons we learned from Cory are numerous. He showed us how he rose from the depths of hell to the pinnacle of human experience, sharing his victory with the world. I know it will change people's lives. It's already changed mine, and I invite you to let it change yours. You will never look at your troubles the same way again. Slowly up the mountainside, over that picturesque trail, the burro train plodded, some dozen or more. 4 of us fellows went along to keep things moving. I was following the last burro in the train, a nice little brown yearling. When I came to the top of the first hill, the owner of the burro train called to me and said, "Hanks, you watch that little donk. She'll kick you if she gets the chance." The thing above all others that a burro can do well is to kick. They never miss their mark. Immediately, I cut a long, limber willow and proceeded to tease Miss Burro thoroughly. While she was climbing up each steep hill, I would catch hold of her tail. She tried her best to kick me every time, but just before she would get to the top of each hill, I would let loose. She would go on until she reached firm footing, and then she would wait and watch for me to come up where she could kick me. And then I would switch her. That little donkey remembered our trip to the mine and how I teased her. She watched me every day I was there. She would have kicked me sometime if I'd stayed. In the gloom of that October night, we unloaded the burros and laid their burdens at our cabin door. The lease was right, and the fellows were there, and when morning came, we set to work. The tunnel planned, I drilled the holes. The dynamite lifted the rocks as the echoes of the blast sifted and rolled through the cliffs, silent and old. Nothing succeeds like success, and the work pushed on with a rush. The burro train went down, time after time, with packs of lead and silver until the car was loaded. What a day of celebration! Only you who have worked for it know. Then came the time for us to market, and of course the 2 older fellows must go. My partner and I stayed alone to forward the cause, while the old chaps went to town to pocket the cash. We worked like the devil for a couple of days. The 3rd morning, when old Saul rolled over the mountain in his setting of blue, he looked down upon a wonderful sight, the most beautiful in the world to me. Pine trees, cliffs, and rocks, glittering, smiling, until my soul was lost in the silent ecstasy of it all. The Almighty tried himself when he made such mornings as that. I'm sure his best work was given to that rock-ribbed world that laughs as it goes. Laughs? Yes, it was bubbling with laughter. The whole great world was a song. Surely on such a morning Browning sang, "All's right with the world." The mischief that waited was in the blacksmith shop. A box of caps and a coil of fuse were becoming wet in the drip of the melting frost. That wouldn't do, so I picked them up and put each in a cozy place in front of the rock where they could dry in the sun. They sat there until noon, warming and stewing and waiting for that fatal touch. Noontime came, holes were drilled, and blasting must be done. It seemed a choice between us 2. My partner stopped twice to pick up the caps, and when I told him to fix the dinner, he went on, and I picked up the box. Until my dying day, I shall thank the Almighty Creator for that last glorious look over the mountains and cliffs. For with a slight bump of the caps, everything changed with a roar. Explosion? Yes, it had happened. Forebodings were over. I had waited 1 second too long. I intended to quit and go home. But, oh, great God, it was too late.